Spring, we went into the heat of lilacs, and his black eyes got big as onions, and his fat lower lip hung like a bumper, and he'd rub his chin's hard fur on my cheek and tell stories. He first saw America from his father's arms, and his father said here he could have anything if he wanted it, with all his life. And he boiled soap in his backyard, and sold it door to door, and invented clothespins shaped like fingers and cigarette lighters that played stars and stripes when the lid snapped open. Mornings, he lugged candy into factories, and his vending machines turned peanuts into pennies. My mother counted on the kitchen table. At nights he came home, tripping on his laces, and fell asleep over dinner. And one night, he carried me outside and said only God knew what God had up his sleeve. And a man only knew what he wanted. And he wanted a big white house, with a porch so high he could see all the way back to Russia. And the black moon turned on the axis of his eye, and his breath filled the red summer air with the whiskey of first light. The morning his heart stopped, I borrowed money to bury him. And his eyes still look at me out of mirrors. And I hear him kicking the coal burner to life, and can taste the peanut salt on his hands. And his advice on lifting heavy boxes helps with the books I lug town to town. And I still count thunder's distance in heartbeats as he taught me. And one day, I watched the sun's great rose open over the ocean as I swayed on the bow of the Staten Island ferry. And I was his father's age when he arrived, with one borrowed suit and such appetite for invention. And the bridges were mountains, and the buildings gold, and the sky lifted backward like a dancer, and her red hair fanning the horizon, and my eyes burning in 1,000 windows, and the whole Atlantic breaking at my feet.